My name's Byrne and I work in risk consulting with KPMG. In risk consulting, we assess different business challenges that different companies are facing. So these could be new challenges that are coming down the line that they might need to adapt to, or they could be existing problems that businesses face on a day-to-day basis. And we basically work with these clients to help find a suitable solution that's kind of tailored to each client's needs. Yes, so it is an extremely diverse range of industries that we get to work across, which is probably one of my favourite things about the department. So far I've worked in aircraft leasing and I've also worked in the banking sector. And the same type of skills though are definitely applicable to each of the jobs that you work in. So the top 3 skills that I would probably say are most important would firstly be communication skills. So you're straight away working with clients from first year. You have to be able to interact with the clients and you need to be comfortable with asking questions because you're working with guys in these industries who are experts in their field and you're obviously coming in straight out of college and you're just experiencing all of this for the first time. So you can't be afraid to ask questions and you can't be afraid to speak up and say to your seniors, okay, I don't understand this, and that's absolutely fine. Everyone's more than happy to help you because if you're asking questions, it means you're going to deliver the best possible outcome for the team. Secondly, I think it's really important to be able to work efficiently in your job. So probably having a basic proficiency in some of the Microsoft Excel, Word and PowerPoint can be really helpful. You don't have to be an expert at all, but it can definitely help when you start if you've experienced it at all. So if there's anything in your university that you're able to maybe take a course in it or just go to a lecturer who's good at it for some tips on how to use it, that can be really helpful as well. We study for the Chartered Accountant exams as well as working full-time. So being able to balance your study and your work is a real skill. Initially, I was obviously very daunted by the thought of having to balance both of them. But the more I talked to people, and that's something that KPMG were really great at, they put me in touch with some of the seniors on the team. And I know loads of people had the same experience where if you have a question or a worry when you're applying for a job, they're really good at putting you in touch with somebody who's just recently gone through their traineeship. So after talking to one of the seniors who just finished her FAEs, it really put me at ease, and she said, look, yes, of course it's going to be difficult, but if you have an interest in getting this exam and you have an interest in doing well in your job, then the support network is there to help you achieve both of them. So there's kind of a mix of 2 main things that I did during my when I was growing up that led me to start looking at consulting when I was in college. I've been acting since I was about 5 and I love getting up on stage and I love acting to an audience of people. And in college that kind of led me to start doing some case study competitions. I like working with people, I like performing to people and I like having a chat with people. So when I then got to look at the case study competitions, I got to do that sort of presentation while also trying to solve a problem. And that kind of tied into my commerce degree where I really liked problem solving, but I certainly didn't want to be stuck behind a screen the whole time. And drawing it back into, like I said, you work with clients from first year. I think that's an extremely rare opportunity to have that from your very first year in a company. So I get to do the problem solving and I get to definitely develop skills, really, really great skills from a business perspective, but I also get to exercise that presentation side and communication skills as well. I was really lucky. I got to go to Kenya with school when I was in 5th year. So we travelled to Kenya for 3 weeks and we taught in Nairobi for a week and then we worked in a self-sustainable village in Kitui for another week. And at such a young age to get the opportunity to kind of see a totally different world just completely blew my mind, and I said, I want to experience things outside of Ireland immediately. I want to get the opportunity to travel really far and to kind of meet new people. And I think, looking from that perspective then, I ended up going on to Singapore for my exchange, and then I went to London for my internship. And I knew then that I wanted to be part of a really big global organisation where I would have the opportunity after my traineeship possibly to travel with the company. And even, for example, my first project that I worked on, the General Data Protection Regulation one, we had some conference calls with members of the company we were working with in Hong Kong. So having that ability, I suppose, to interact with different cultures and to be able to manage different expectations from people around the world really helped me then when I actually came into KPMG. It sounds cheesy, but it's definitely the people that are my favourite part of the entire experience so far. I've only been in the company a year, and already from my intake I know I have friends for life, and I think that's something really special to get from only 1 year working in a company. I think the risk consulting department is also quite unique in a way that it's quite a small intake. So there's actually only 12 of us in risk consulting in the graduate intake. So I think people consider these big 4 intakes to be huge, you know, hundreds of people, and you could get lost in it. I definitely don't think that's the experience that any of my friends have had, but I also really like the fact that I have a really small intake. So the 12 of us are from completely diverse backgrounds. I study commerce, but there's a mathematical physicist, we have an engineer, we have lawyers, which is something that I really like. It means that everybody brings something interesting to the group, and it's just really fun. Like, all of the social events that we have are fantastic. So obviously the work is great, I really do enjoy the work, but it's also really nice to know that there's all of the fun things that come along with work as well.